Hey, my name is Dr. Maruti,
And I'm Shilpa.
and welcome to University of Life
Same.
pod-
Yeah.
podcast. and Today is another episode in the series Save Your Child. You Can Save Your Child series. And in today's small session, we're going to talk about one serious behavior that parents exhibit that can destroy a child.
And if the behavior is corrected, you will be called a great parent.
Yes. So before we get into that behavior, I want to quote a study that happened during the World War II. So there was a famous psychiatrist, Freud, who conducted this study in which they saw that kids who were living in a town that was being bombed every day, a part of those kids were taken and sent to a far, far away land which was safe, where no war was going. And, they studied that after the war was over, how these kids kind of fared in life, how resilient and strong, emotionally strong they were. And the other part of the kids who remained in the area that was being bombed every day, they remained there with their mothers. And then they studied how these kids who remained with their parent in the bombing zone during the war, what impact it had on their mental health versus kids who went to this faraway land that was safer,
Okay.
but their parent, their mother was not there.
Okay.
What do you think?
You tell me.
So the findings of the study, reflected that kids who stayed in the war zone with their mothers
Okay.
were much more resilient than the kids who actually went to a safer land but kind of grew up with strangers.
Resilient as in?
As in, I mean, their overall capacity to fight mental health diseases, mental health problems, challenges of life, stresses of life was much, much better than kids who were sent to a safer place with strangers.
Okay.
And resilience also means, sometimes, when you, in the face of when things don't go right, or you fall down, metaphorically speaking, how quickly you bounce back.
Okay. And I work with a lot of kids, and I see that resilience is missing these days in most of us.
Yes.
So I think whatever you're saying, it's going to help us build.
Yeah, but then
better.
what is the implication of the study? That's number one. And for me, the implication of the study is, number one, how important the bond between the mother and the child is. I think this study clearly shows that the bond between the mother and the child is super critical. And it can be a source of, like as a mother, you can inject in a lot of positive energy and resilience into your child if that bond is good quality and healthy. And which also, yes.
Yes.
Sometimes, I hear parents come to us and they go, should I send my child to a boarding? And I'm like, okay, when you're sending your child to a boarding, it is like you're sending your child to a far, far away place, which is perfect, beautiful. However, the mother is not there. And a lot of the times, parents who are thinking of sending their kid to a boarding is because they say, oh, you know what, the environment at home is not right. We don't have the right kind of, things, and it's better for us to send a child to a boarding.
And sometimes we want them to speak better, to be more groomed,
Yes. So
and be more independent.
they don't have the resources. But I'm sure no matter what the conditions are, I think in most cases, any house would be much better than a war zone. Yeah.
Sure.
So the thing is, I think one thing is pretty clear, that the best you can do for your child is to keep your child with you
Okay.
in the growing up years. And I've also studied some researches wherein they say that sending your kid early to a boarding when your kid is really small is like sending your kid to a foster care, and that's
that's okay if the child doesn't have a parent,
Yeah.
or there's the parents are like sick, then it's okay to.
Yes, if the parent for somehow, because of some reasons, is not capable of taking care of the child.
Yes.
Yeah. And not by virtue of the job or I think if the parents are unfortunately, not there physically, they've passed away, or the parents are fighting a critical illness that doesn't allow them to really be with the kid, then it's okay. I think in all of the circumstances, please make sure that your child stays with you. And do you think? And the second thing that really comes out is from this study is that, think about it. What was it about being with the mother and being in the war zone that led to creation of more resilience in these kids?
Okay.
Isn't it? It's
Yes.
an interesting question.
Yes.
And see, they observed that when the bombs are raining and the mother is there and the child is there and the child is looking at the mother when the neighbor is being bombed, and the mother is able to stay calm and evaluate the situation and take appropriate action. Now, two things are happening. One, mother and the child are going to be safer.
Yes.
Second, the kid is watching the mom responding to this highly stressful situation in a calm way and applying her brain. And this is how a child can learn how to face a crisis, a dangerous situation later in life from the mother. And this is how kids and moms, another research, that when they go through a crisis together and the kids watch their moms or dads or primary caregivers, face a stressful situation, face a challenge of life gracefully, calmly, with wisdom, kids kind of naturally, automatically acquire this skill. And I think this is the most critical skill for success in the times that we are living in.
And we all know children imitate parents or primary caregivers.
Yes.
We all say that
Yes.
all the time.
Yes. And well, it's not a very nice thing. We understand that these days there are a lot of challenges, 9 to 5 jobs, 9 to 9 jobs, one parent is not there, the financial stress, the political turmoil, war, uncertainties of life, disease, pandemic, so many things going on. And there was another study by Chethik, I think, and this guy's noticed, he said, well, because of all these factors, actually your ability to parent a child gets compromised.
And he says that the thing that impacts the child, for example, death of a close relative, it actually overwhelms us emotionally so much that we have to learn to manage it. I think it's one of the what you call
a really important point. Forget about death of a relative. You remember we had a child, and the parent told us that the death of a pet.
Yes.
The child could not get over the death of a pet, and these are the moments. Of course, they are emotionally very, very charged.
Yes.
However, I think these are the moments when it's the job of a parent to really be a role model and demonstrate to the kid that how to come out of that situation, how to tackle and face that situation.
Yeah, we all feel very sad sometimes, but we have to teach our child at the same time that that it's part of life, and
there's a smarter way of coming out of that situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now what it means as a parent, what you can do. The first thing I think parents need to know that, every time you scream, you shout, let's say, your child forgot to really throw the garbage out, and you start screaming and yelling. Every time you scream, yell, lose control while behaving, talking to your kid or talking to your partner or talking to someone on phone.
And we know it's easier said than done. Done. It's difficult with the kids. Kids get onto your nerves all the time, but still.
Well, the but is very important because now you have a choice. We are parents. We understand when small things kind of happen, and it's so easy to lose temper. However, if you are aware that, if like as a father, I'm aware that if I yell, if I express anger, if I lose myself, and my kid is watching me, my kid is gonna feel more helpless, especially when there's a crisis, because kids, small kids, anyways, they feel powerless and helpless. And this is why whenever there's a threat, they run to the parent for security, for protection. And when they watch their parent also losing senses, or acting in rage, or acting scared, or acting super aggressive, kids feel even more powerless and helpless. And this
is the way
destroys their mental health.
And I think we need to empower them. And the way to empower is our own reaction or response to a situation.
I have this thing that, if your kid is behaving in a way that you don't like, most likely it's how you behave.
Yeah.
Because you see your reflection in your
Yeah,
kids.
children show you the mirror.
Well, it's hard.
Their
It's a hard
behavior
truth,
shapes,
but
yes,
but it's a
that's
fact,
true.
because your kids are watching you. And I have this very interesting thing. I say, when a baby is there, and the baby is watching the mom, like
Okay.
and kids, babies watch their mom with all the focus. That's the only thing of interest to them in the world. And the mom is watching the mobile phone or a screen or TV. So the kid is watching the mom watching mobile, and then naturally for kids' nervous system, it makes a meaning that maybe watching mobile is something deeply meaningful and critical to life.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And after a while, the kid skips the mom and starts watching the mobile. And then the mom gets worried that my kid is watching mobile all the time. But hey, listen, you taught your child how to watch
Not
mobile.
only mom, dads
Oh,
too.
well, mom, yes, yeah, fathers as well. Yeah. The thing in research is, it's not the mom or the dad, it's the person who spends maximum time with the child.
Primary caregiver.
Primary caregiver means the person who feeds the child, who cleans the child, who sleeps, puts the child to bed, who is the basic provider for the child. That person's behavior, that person's emotions are going to impact the child in a big, big way.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That is, we experience this on the daily basis. Whatever I'm saying, like a week back, I've said a week back, the child repeats it maybe after a week.
Yeah.
But that is surely going to be repeated.
Yeah, so there's some curse words, we get some kids, and they come and they are using these curse words, and the parents are wondering, where did they pick it from? Kids are learning sponge.
Yeah.
They're like sponge. They imbibe everything. You use the curse word once
And yelling
and yelling, and they're gonna get it.
Yeah, it's very catchy actually.
They just and
Curse words
for
are
some
catchy.
strange reason, they seem to pick the curse words or the negative vocabulary faster than the positive ones.
It's
I,
actually it's very catchy.
I think it's the energy and
Yeah.
intensity with which we say a curse word.
Maybe, yeah.
I think that's why it sticks with the child
Yeah.
faster. Okay. Yeah. So we have a lot of people watching. Great. So in today's session, the bottom line is, the key learning point is that if you're a parent, if you spend time with your child, if you're a teacher, or if you're sending your child to a teacher, one of the things you need to look for is how this teacher, how a mentor, and how you respond in stressful situations. And if you are not trained, if you do not know how to manage stress and trauma in a graceful, calm way, you are going to pass the same responses, the same reactions to your child. And your child is going to struggle, in a couple of years from now. And this is why we're seeing more and more people, more and more kids with anxiety, panic attacks, and so many personality problems.
Yeah, and the degree of mental health issues, it's like on the increase. I think it's on.
Yes, yes. It's because more and more parents are stressed.
Yes.
And I think it's imperative, if you're a mother or if you're planning to be a mother or a father, please take out some time and take some basic mental health training, that basic communication skills training, not the language part, but how do you communicate to your child. And there are two things: there's knowledge and awareness, which knowledge we'll try to give you the best possible knowledge here for free, and then there is skill and there is competence. So if you want to acquire skill, I strongly recommend, find some place and devote an hour a week and master the basic skills of communicating with a child, master the basics of managing your own mental health and that of your child, and practice them for a while. And very soon you'll become competent at them. And they'll not only help you raise a better, happier child, but they'll also help you, improve the quality of your life. You will enjoy this life
And
better.
the environment at home will become beautiful.
Beautiful.
That is for sure.
Yeah. Like we say, nature has designed us and our kids so that we can thrive and we can enjoy this life.
I feel if we're communicating in a more positive way, the environment changes completely.
Absolutely.
And on the other hand, if you're yelling, it becomes the environment becomes depressive and negative.
Yes. Environment is not fixed. We contribute continuously in creation and transformation of the environment that we live in.
Yeah, and words play a great
Yes.
role.
So it's 2:10. And if you have any questions, you can write them in the comments below on Facebook or on YouTube. And we'll see you again. Take care.
Yeah, okay, just check. Yeah.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you tomorrow.